comments before we do the stats and sort of wrap up our analysis of this match. Nathan Davis says, "It seems to me we need to find more minutes for Muci," and this is what Con was wanting to talk about. But it's hard to see how to do that in our current formation when João Mário is in such top form. I'd rather see more of Muci and less of Rashica. Well, so the problem there, and then he says not to mention Cheche, which is that's the problem for me, is that I think I'd rather see Kenny Arroyo there than Muci. That said, and I'm doubling up on Sporting Report material, but when Rafa went down in this last match for a minute there, and it looked pretty scary, in the back of my mind was the thought that at the very least, that's the one position that we have coverage for because of Muci.
Yeah, but the drop off is so big. Like imagine
it is a huge drop off though. But like at least it's like it's the biggest loss as far as like the most talent we have on the pitch at any given time. But then it's also the best player we have on the bench. So like at least in your mind that it kind of like gives you something to work with there. But I don't know, man. It's a bit of a quandary right now as far as how to fit Muci in because.
Well,
I know with João Mário being as good as he is.
Did you think he was good coming on? Because I didn't think he was good. Some people were talking about that he's actually good, but he
won us a penalty.
He won us a penalty, but before that he almost he had like 2 or 3 times he lost the ball, kind of stupidly.
I thought it was quite good.
Sorry.
I thought he had a couple of nice actions.
He had like a really good dribble in between at the end there, and then he won the penalty. But before that, he also lost the ball a couple of times, really sloppily, didn't defend well. I don't know, man. Like when did he come in? Like, because I feel like the first 10-15 minutes he was on the pitch, he wasn't doing very well, and I thought like
6 to 8.
Yeah, and then like the last 10-15 minutes maybe. So let's say he
kind of worked into the
he
game
was on
a little.
maybe
he needed to find his footing.
I feel like he like the first half of his appearance wasn't good, and then the second half of his appearance was good.
He lost one ball. There was one misplaced pass.
Pretty sure. But there was a duel where there was a moment where he gets the ball with his back towards their side of the pitch, and he took way too long. It felt like he had like he felt like, or it felt like he thought he had all the time in the world, and that led to a dangerous attack. I think then he maybe misplaced his pass or something under pressure. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember like getting really annoyed and thinking, dude, you just came on the pitch. You're supposed to be alleviating pressure, and you're only creating more. And maybe that just kind of tainted my view of how I saw his game.
There's something that's a bit weird about Tottenham's stats, though. For example, it says 2 out of 4 successful dribbles, but he was dispossessed 0 times. So how does that work? Like, how can you have a not successful dribble but not be dispossessed?
Maybe he dribbled it out of bounds. I can't. That's the only thing I can.
Well, maybe you attempt to dribble, but you can't. You don't get past your man or something, so you turn back. Because like for example, on the penalty, he kind of did that, right? Like.
It could be.
So maybe that's
that was nice thinking there, Can. That's probably the case.
We actually got some good comments about this. Let me read them. So then Khan said, "Did you guys enjoy the new role of Ox as a deep lying playmaker?" That's while we were sort of discussing, having that conversation where Kartal was sort of more in favor of what he was seeing. And then Murat Sehan comes out and says Solskjaer tries to convince him that he's still alive. I think that's about Chiro. And then he says, I think that was the hierarchical. I think that the choice was pretty hierarchical rather than a strategic one, meaning the choice to give.
So it's a little different because we have the E with the 2 dots on it. So
I mean, that's a tough word to pronounce if you're not a native speaker. That you get a pass on that. Where was that? Last time I was there. Where are we? Khan, the other Khan, says Muci has to improve himself as a winger, playmaker in Mario's role, as he's not going to be effective as Rafa. As he's not going to be as effective as Rafa is as a shadow striker. With that said, we haven't really seen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nobody's as effective as Rafa is probably.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Like if there wasn't Rafa, I think Muci would be a good player for us for sure. He's a good player. It's just a problem that our best player plays in the same position as he does, and our second best player right now, João Mário, also kind of fights for that same role. Is that fair to say, guys, that our second best player right now is João Mário?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Masuaku. I mean, if he's going to maintain that form.
Well,
The February form.
The difference is though, see if you take out João Mário, this system doesn't function. If you take out Masuaku, I think it still functions. So that for me, that's a difference.
That's fair. That's fair.
What do you think about that statement, Karen?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we don't have a viable alternative right now at left back for Masuaku, but I think you could easily bring in somebody new. Well, easily. You could bring in.
We say that, but then like the last time we needed a sub for Masuaku, we saw Onur Bulut come in. So
yeah. So I mean, I think it's gonna be easier for us to replace Masuaku with a young
in a window,
yeah.
not with the current
and I
roster.
think the way João Mário is playing right now, I think it's gonna be tougher to just bring in someone to replace him. But you know, I mean, it's been what? How many games has Ole been in charge now, guys? So it's been 9 matches.
9,
so,
he's 7-1-1, right?
Let's say it's 10 games now where João Mário has been good, and I'm very happy about that. You know, I mean, I've been saying all along he's a good football player.
Is this the best start of a manager ever in our history?
No, I don't think that's. I don't think
7-1-1, because I remember there was when Giovanni van Bronckhorst we had a good start, and there was some discussion of how it was like a historically good start.
Mircea Lucescu didn't lose. I mean, I guess he lost in Europe, but that was only until Lazio, I think. So Mircea Lucescu definitely had a better start because the first half of the season in 2002-2003, we didn't lose a single game in the league. We lost in the cup in the second half of the season against Sterling that season. And I think we also lost against Lazio Roma, but that must have also been like past winter because that was like the quarterfinals. So all 3 of our losses that season, we might have had, I don't remember if we lost twice to Lazio. I don't remember. I think we had 3 losses in total that season. I think they all came in the second half of the season. So that means for about 6 months we were unbeaten under Mircea Lucescu.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing as well, like Gio didn't lose until almost 3 months into the season. Like he lost the game. The first game he lost was, in fact, that's just the league, I suppose. I didn't think about Europe.
Yeah, he did lose to Ajax.
He did the league at the end of October.
Yeah, but what?
I mean, 7-1-1 though. I mean, you know, it's hard to do a lot better than that. I mean,
it's a good
start. I'm curious if anyone has that stat. Feel free to toss it up. Back to the chat real quickly, so we can get to the stats of the match and then wrap up that bit. The chat just got interesting. Murat finished his earlier thoughts that I really doubt Muci's striking abilities probably won't significantly change the problem. Beşiktaş needs a big man, a warrior as a striker that facilitates their presence in the third area. Yeah, sure. I mean, we're talking about with what we currently have on the roster now, Murat. You know, obviously, if we have a transfer window to resolve that, that's a different conversation entirely. That said, I don't think Muci's striking ability is bad, considering some of the goals we've seen him score in previous outings, especially last season. Even you know, for that stretch, you know, I think in January he kind of went on a little goal-scoring stretch that wasn't bad. I mentioned this in the Schwarting report as well, but like I think part of what was disappointing about how he played in February was how good he was in January, that you felt like he might have some momentum, and we didn't really see much of that. But he does have some finishing ability, so I don't know if I agree with you on that one, Murat. Carlito says, isn't it amazing in a way that the team performs like this without new transfers? Main missing spots not even filled and still on the up and up. Yeah, I mean, the main missing spot was a winger, and we did get a winger, but I fully agree in that. No,
I think that's the biggest props you can give to Solskjaer, right? Like he turned it around, but he did it with 95% of the same tools that his predecessors had. Because yes, Kenny Arroyo has come in and he has played a bit part so far, and I think he's gonna be a great contributor in the future. And I hope the same we'll be able to say the same about Elan Ricardo, but we can't say anything right now. But like, you know, and then there's Amir, but Amir came in kind of as a sub as well. So like he's turned it around, and he hasn't just turned it around. He's got us playing much better football. Not against Kayseri here. I think we didn't play our best game, but all in all, like he's turning it around, and it's almost all with the same tools Giovanni Van Bronckhorst had at his disposal. The same tools that Topak Tepe had at his disposal.
Oh my God! There's a third con in the group.
A third con.
Come on, guys. keep it in your.
Con 3.0.
Get control of the situation.
Invasion of the cons.
This is crazy. We're gonna have to impose a ban on cons until we figure out how to deal with this situation.
Tariffs on the name con.
Okay, let me do this chat. Let's get to this. Carlito says, have to give it to Cartel. The impact of the unpaid salaries. Wow, I just concocted a Turkish accent. Salaries. The unpaid salaries were more crucial than I thought. Cartel, any thoughts on that? Do you want to say yes? I was correct. You're damn right. I was right, sucker.
I was right, and I think everyone will accept that. That's not the only factor. It's the chaos in the board.
I think that's a bigger factor.
The board getting involved in the coach's work. Samet Aybala getting involved in the coach's work. It's there have been like groups with groups like Brad's boys, Samet's boys. All these things came together to lead to the collapse of our season. It wasn't one isolated thing. It wasn't them all together. So I'm not surprised that with the board changing and then another good foreign coach coming with I'd say he's a good coach, but he's coming with a very good staff. Yeah. I'm not surprised that we've had an uptick because this squad's not balanced. It's not complete. It's getting missing pieces, but it's not a team that doesn't win a game and like wins like 1 or 2 games in like 12 or whatever. It's not a team that's.
I agree with Kat. I think the chaos more so than the unpaid wages, because we've seen unpaid wages in the past. That's kind of prevalent in Turkish football in general. You know, I can guarantee you, Galatasaray don't always pay their players on time.
It's a factor.
It's a factor, but it's not like 60% of a reason for an implosion. Yeah. Like I think it's a relatively minor. I think these football players, they know they're gonna get their money. They're playing for Beşiktaş, not Rize's. Well, not Ankara-Gücü. You know, if you play for Ankara-Gücü, you can genuinely probably, Eskişehirspor. Eskişehirspor they still have players, I think until recently, that were claiming wages from like 2011, 2012, 2013. Like 10 years onward. That's never going to happen when you play for Beşiktaş or you play for Galatasaray or you play for Fenerbahçe. You might not get paid for 6 months, but you're going to get your money eventually. You're going to get it. You know that. These players know that. Their agents know that.
I think it's definitely a factor because
it's not a non-factor, but it's not as big as people make it out to be.
Right.
Anyway, back to these comments. They keep coming. I thought Emirhan Guven. I don't know if you guys follow the under-19 team. They beat Galatasaray the other day, making a comeback from down 0-2. And there are some real promising substitute potentials instead of our beloved Onur Bulut, for example. Well, that would be nice. I wonder, does Emrecan Terzi play for the under-19s?
No,
in games like that?
He's 22 or something, man.
Oh crap!
21 or 22. I have to lie about that. But, he's too old.
I didn't realize he was that was the case. That's so. I mean, that'd be nice if there's an actual alternative there as a fullback.
I don't think Emrecan Terzi will be getting a new contract, and I don't know if he'll be in the Super League after that.
He's 21 years old, but he's been out injured for ages, man.
Is he injured though? Because he got an injury for a while, I know, but like.
Yeah, he's still showing his injured on FotMob.
Yeah, I don't know if that's correct, but okay.
Murat says that Felix's touch on the ball had around a 0.3 xG, so that was the big chance that Cartel and I had sort of suspected it might have been. Emirhan Guven says Musrati and Rafa getting yellow for stepping on the grass. I think that was a reference to someone we must have been talking about at the time.
Musrati and Rafa both stepping on grass, getting carded. Yeah.
I'll never forget, like, Masuaku came into a match and got a card for, like, breathing on someone.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Within their vicinity.
The one where he came on at halftime, he went up for an aerial duel.
He, like, ran out, like, went up for a header. Like,
yeah, and the ref booked him for daring to go up for an aerial.
Like, move.
Like, it was ridiculous.
How dare you move so fast?
Yeah.
So soon after entering the pitch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you see the Galside penalty this week, by the way?
No, I heard it was pretty comical. Anyway, any parting comments, guys? We have anything else to talk about?
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy to leave it at that.
No, hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Hit the join button if you want to join us for extra content. There's 2 ranks. The 99-cent rank gets you some cool badges, loyalty badges next to your name in the chat, in the live chat. It gets you access to some exclusive emojis. The $3.99 rank gets you access to members only content. And going forward, you know, guys, the expert insight videos when possible, when we do interviews with people, whether it's about a European opponent, whether it's about a new transfer or a prospective transfer, I am going to try and time those interviews on times where people are going to be able to attend the live stream. So those will be members only live streams, and then later on those will be available to the public, but only the members will be able to ask questions. But they're just a 99 cents per month rank, so the Black Eagle Hatchling rank is enough for that. If you're a Patreon member already, and you're a Black Eagle VIP member on Patreon, you will also gain access to those live streams. As a Patreon member, you get everything. And as a $3.99 member on YouTube, you get everything as well. The 99 cents rank is just for the Patreon people who want to have their star, their badge and the logo and stuff like that, so they can do it for essentially the same price as if they would be a Black Eagle VIP member on YouTube. That's all my sales pitch, by the way.
Brace yourselves. We have a lot of new listeners, and I'm about to scream. So I like to give people a fair warning, because the goal is to do a jump scare, but like I feel bad now that we have all these people watching. Anyway, let's go Beşiktaş! Peace out, everyone. We will be back.
Hit the
soon.
join button.
That is Monday.
Hit the join button if you want to get your name up on this board.
Yeah, if you want me to scream your name, you better